Thanks for joining us for the March Community Connection. I'm Brooke Hall, and last month we introduced Councilmember for Ward 2, Steve Eggert. This month we'll be doing a question and answer session with Councilmember for Ward 1, Tom Tilbury, to learn more about his background and what he's looking forward to this term.
Hi, I'm Tom Tilbury, and I happen to be the council member for Ward 1. I spent a lot of time in southeastern Minnesota in the Winona area, went to college in Winona, and really grew up because I even went to high school there. Married my high school sweetheart, and then we kind of stayed there, and I was an assistant director at Winona State of admissions, and so we did that for a while, traveled way too much, so that was part of the issue about getting out of that type of field. And then after a little while, I decided to go for my master's in counseling, and so school counseling was where I really wanted to be. And so we traveled up to the cities and stayed with Fridley as a spot because my wife had gotten a job at Unity, and then I had also gotten a job over in Roseville. And I have been at Roseville Area High School now for 23 years. And so that's pretty much how I got to the Fridley area. And that's a little bit about my background. I have two children, though, that have gone through school here in Fridley. And in fact, it was kind of interesting. My wife used to have to ride a school bus for almost 2 hours down by Winona. And she said, my kids will never ride a bus. So she said, they're going to have to be very close to the school. So in my ward, I happen to be very close to Hayes Elementary. We can basically see it. I think I can see the third grade room right from my front window. And so that was one of the things my wife wanted to do. Well, I became more involved in city government due to the fact that I was actually involved in state government. So as a legislator from this area, this is really my district, the middle part of Fridley. So where my ward is right now is where the representative spot would have been. And so I served as a state representative for 6 years, so 3 terms. And then retired from that and stayed with my position over at Roseville Area High School. And so now I get teased from them over there saying, oh, you're a counselor during the day and a counselor during the evening. So that was some of the things that they teased me about. But that's why I got into probably city government. I mean, there's times when I get phone calls to go and do different things all the time. When the Senate position came open, there was several news people that called me and asked, well, are you gonna run for senator? And I thought, oh, I don't know. 6 years in state government might just be enough for me. And so I didn't pursue that. Then the county commissioner position came available, and it's like, are you gonna run for that? And I thought, I really don't know if I want to do that, and I can't blend my 2 jobs of being a county commissioner and then on the other hand being at Roseville. And so city government here in our city council seemed to be the best thing to do to get kind of back involved in decision making again. Favorite thing about our city would have been really the location. I mean, you can say location, location, location. We're 15 minutes out of Minneapolis. So if I want to go to a Twins game, you can just get on there. And we can also hop on the North Star Rail, which, I like to take credit for a little bit of that coming in. But that's been a unique event. But other than that, I really like the location. I think that others have said that it's like a small community within the metro area. And even with the school system, the same kind of concept. I'm looking forward in my term to, as we look at this facility that we're basically talking about right here in our location, this is brand new to us. This is something that should have happened probably many years ago. And I think the forward thinking and looking at our community down the road is going to be very important. I think that that's going to be my emphasis also, is to keep that momentum going. I think that this has been a great moment for us. It kind of puts us a little bit more on the map. I do want to be proud of this community. I don't want to be allegiant to the community just because I'm loyal. I want to make sure that we have the things that are competitive with other areas. So the other cities could look to us and say, oh yeah, we want to belong in Fridley. And that will bring people into our community, and I think that will help us out.
We'd also like to introduce another new employee, Dan Cahill. As our new neighborhood preservation specialist, you may see him out and about this summer.
Well, hello, I'm Julie Jones, Planning Manager for the City of Fridley, and I wanted to introduce you to a new member of our Planning Division team, and that's Dan Cahill. Dan is our new Neighborhood Preservation Specialist, and Dan came to us from
the city of White Bear Lake.
Yeah, so he's got some experience in other cities. So besides White Bear Lake, you worked at some other communities too?
Yeah, some Minneapolis and then Cottage Grove for a while too. So,
in doing code enforcement in those communities. He's also got some experience being a community service officer and some military experience too. So we're happy to have Dan with our staff. We think he's a good fit with his experience for this neighborhood preservation specialist position.
Yeah, well, thank you for having me here. So, yeah, it's wonderful.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, Dan started with us back in January, and so we've been hitting the streets running right away since he's got some experience. And so one of the things we kind of wanted to talk about is kind of what the neighborhood preservation specialist position is.
yeah, so it'll be kind of preserving our, our property values and just maintaining our minimum standards of the council members' decision for our ordinances and our community decisions with maintaining those minimum standards. So
yeah, a lot of people ask, wow, why is it you're making me do this and that on my property, and why can't I do anything I want? Well, over time, decades back, when the city of Fridley was created, minimum standards for property maintenance were established by the community and approved by our city council. And so those are the types of things that we enforce. And it does have, what code enforcement is all about is really protecting people's biggest investment, their investment in their home, their investment in their business. And Dan and I were talking the other day about one of the common things we see all the time is people parking off of their pavement, off of their driveway.
Up onto the grass, and it surprisingly does lower your property value by $10,000 per even your block. So every home could lose $10,000 if you're trying to sell your property just because your neighbor is parking on your grass. So.
Everyone's probably going to call it, and tell you
Yeah,
about the people
I'm
that
sure,
are parking on the lawn. And that's what we want you to do.
Yeah.
I mean, besides, we do receive, you can call Dan anytime and file a complaint if there's something going on in your neighborhood that you're unhappy about that you think is a violation. And Dan, you're also going out and checking regularly on properties.
We're just checking actually every property here. This summer we'll be doing every single property, and right now I'm just kind of checking every block. So just even during the winter, I'll check every single house. So,
So if you get a letter from Dan, don't assume that it's because someone in your neighbor has ratted you out. It's because he may have just driven by and seen a violation.
Yeah.
So
don't worry about the first letter. So what we usually do is just an informational letter for the first violation. So just letting you know that it is a violation of our city code and how to correct those issues. And if you get a second letter, it's more of now that we need to work with you and get those violations taken care of together.
So the real focus of our process in neighborhood preservation is to educate people on what the code requirements are, because you may not know. So we have information on the city website at fridleymn.gov about what code requirements are. Of course, you can call Dan anytime.
And my number is 572-3598.
Or they can email you as well.
Yeah, it'd be my first name, Daniel.Cahill, Cahill, at fridleymn.gov.
And we do also have an online complaint system. So if you want to file a complaint and it's late in the evening or early in the morning before we're open, feel free to do that online on the city website. Well, welcome, Dan.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
If you're feeling cooped up this winter season, check out some of these great events going on at Springbrook Nature Center. Our Springbrook Puppet Theater is here to tell you all about it.
welcome to Springbrook Nature News. Squirrel, how are we doing today?
Great. This is Sam B. Squirrel reporting from the studio. Yes, very excited to be here today. There's a lot happening out at Springbrook these days.
This is true. Let's cut first to Bear.
Right. Yeah, I'm just out today trying to catch some fish for animal feeding. I don't know if we're gonna get enough. Those toads and frogs and turtles are... Turtle, what are you doing? You're gonna scare them all away.
Hey there, Fuzzface. I see you're catching me some lunch. I like my fish nice and big for animal feeding.
Oh, I think I got one. Is that one big enough for you?
Maybe a little bigger.
Okay, we'll try again.
Yeah, I'll need 3 or 4 of those.
Another one?
Yeah, that looks pretty good. My friends and I get pretty hungry on, what day is that again? Oh, yeah, Sunday mornings at 11. We all get fed, yep. We get taken care of, get our shells cleaned off, and get some nice fish and other things to eat, some worms maybe. Yeah, it's pretty fun, pretty good time.
Well, I think I'm getting close. You got anything else coming up these days, Turtle?
Oh, let's see. I heard something about a homeschool program. Yep. Kids can come out and learn about reptiles and amphibians. Yep. Trying to remember what day that is.
I feel like I remember something about it's in March? Maybe on a Thursday? Does that sound right?
Oh, yeah. Yep, that sounds pretty good. Let's see here. March 28th from 1 to 2:30. Yep, and you gotta sign up in advance for that one. Not so much the animal feeding. We like it when as many people just show up and watch us eat. Yep, me and the snakes and frogs gonna eat some delicious fish like that you got there.
All right, well, I think I got a couple fish, so I might have to call it a day for right now. Hey, not yet. Come on, Turtle. Stop it.
All right, thanks, Bear. Sounds like you're getting some good fish for animal feeding. Take good care of those turtles over there, Bear.
That squirrel, turtle, that guy, he eats a lot of fish. Yeah, he's kind of a fishy guy.
Oh, I think he's just a little bit of a showman, I suppose. But let's see, we also have some folks getting ready for another program over at Springbrook. Let's check in with Miss Fox. Ooh, I did see a good thing about March in this book right here. So fun. March 6th, that's the first Wednesday in March. Of course, we'll be doing our first Wednesday wildlife walk, and right here it says we could be starting to see some maple syrup running. Now, I know here at Springbrook Nature Center we don't have a lot of maple trees, but keep your eyes open other places. Also, it says birds might be starting to sing their spring song. That's my song. Do you like it?
I do.
Oh, thank you very much. What do you think? Owl, you want to come along on the walk with us?
Sounds great. We'll be the stars of the show.
Sounds good. I think, would you like to bring some binoculars along? I have some here. I can help you get them on.
Sure.
Great.
Just don't mess up my ear tufts. I'm very fond of them.
Now, we'll head out today. We'll see what happens. Also, you can join us at the beginning of April. That is going to be on April 3rd. And we always start right at 9 a.m. sharp here at the Nature Center. All right, Owl, let's go.
All right, well, very good. I hope they see some great things out on their walk. I'd like a taste of that maple syrup one of these days. And for next up in news, let's cut over to Chick. Chick? Chick, do you read?
Anybody out there? Oh, gee.
Squirrel, you been chewing on those lines again?
Maybe. I have a hard time keeping myself out of trouble these days.
Excuse those technical difficulties, but I do believe Chick is getting ready for Chicks in the Sticks, our snowshoeing program. Let me check the dates here. Yes, that is on March 15th, 6:30 p.m. You do have to sign up ahead of time, so please visit our website. Great. Squirrel, why do you keep ringing that bell? It's very distracting.
Bell? What bell?
That one right there. I see it.
Why am I
hear
I remember. Yeah, it's so I don't forget to go to the Discovery Dinner coming up on March 23rd, and it's gonna be great. Denise Young, who's the director of the, you guessed it, Bell Museum, is gonna be giving a talk about the new museum, and I keep ringing this bell so I don't forget to go.
Oh my gosh, well, you're driving me crazy. Stop it! That's all, folks. Wish us luck here and tune in next time for Springbrook's Nature News.
Yep. High five.
Mark your calendars for the 2019 Home and Outdoor Adventure Expo. It will be an awesome event to get ideas and advice on your home projects. Lori and Holly from the North Metro Chamber are here to tell us more about this great event.
Hi, I'm Lori Higgins,
Hi, I'm Holly Krebsbach.
and we are with the Metro North Chamber of Commerce. We are really excited to get to take a couple of minutes with you today to tell you a little bit more about the Metro North Chamber, but in particular about an event that we have coming up that we think you're going to find interesting. But first, a little bit of background about the Metro North Chamber. We are a nonprofit organization that represents over 750 businesses throughout Anoka County. But not just businesses, we also partner with nonprofits, cities, community leaders, basically anybody who shares the same mission that we have to strengthen the business community and make sure that Anoka County is a great place to work and to live. We do a lot of different things, including events to help everyone get to know each other and develop those connections, advertising for businesses, economic development, even some workforce initiatives. In fact, there's one that we're working on right now that we're really proud about. We are working with some local high schools to help students apply for their first jobs, giving them resume tips, interview tips. This program is so innovative that Fox 9 came out and did a story on it. And you can see more at metronorthchamber.org. But what we really want to talk about today is our upcoming Home and Outdoor Adventure Expo on March 23rd at the National Sports Center from 9 to 3. So Holly's going to help me talk a little bit more about what you can expect at the Home and Outdoor Adventure Expo. So Holly, let's talk about the home aspect first. Who are some of the vendors that people can expect at the expo?
Some of the vendors that you will be seeing at the expo on that day is going to be Mickman Brothers, ASAP Vacuum, Murphy Brothers Design Studio, JB Picture Framing, BW Portrait Art, Home Furniture, and Home Depot. Those are some of the vendors.
So really home means both inside and outside.
Absolutely. Home is our sanctuary, and that can be inside and outside as well.
Awesome. So what about some of the speakers and seminars that you have lined up?
Some of the speakers, Candy Weisenberger, she's the owner of House to Home Flooring, and all the rage is luxury vinyl, and Cardim is going to be there with her. So they're from Cardim, and they're going to speak about that. It's all the rage. Another speaker is Betty Addison, who is for the past 40 years, she's passionately pursued growing, propagating, and photographing rock gardens. And she's right here in Fridley. And she's a lovely lady. I happened to have tea with her at her home. And then another speaker is the Mississippi Watershed Organization Board. Part of taking care of our water and passing it down to future generations and our grands, we want to give that back.
Excellent. So just like the vendors, we've got a wide variety of speakers on both inside and outside. So now
Yes.
let's talk about the outdoor adventure aspect, which I think is going to be a really neat and dynamic element to this expo. So who can we expect to see for the outdoor adventure vendors?
Some of our vendors for the outdoor adventure side are really exciting. They include Harley Davidson, Wild Mountain, and who would have known that Wild Mountain has skiing, water slide, paddle boat down the St. Croix River.
Wow.
Lots of different things from Wild Mountain. We're excited to have them as well. Travel Leaders Blaine is partnering with Disney, and they're going to talk about some of their adventures. YMCA Emma B. Howe and Andover YMCA Camps for Kids. We want to get the kids outside, off their phones, and enjoying nature.
So speaking of kids, let's talk about what we have there specifically for the kids who come to the expo.
Well, when the kids come, they're going to enjoy a blow-up archery with the Boy Scouts.
Fun.
And they won't be real arrows.
Of course not.
But it's going to be wonderful for the kids to participate in that with the Boy Scouts.
Excellent. Now, no expo is complete without door prizes, and you have lined up some fantastic prizes, right?
Absolutely. Door prizes are wonderful for the attendees, and one of them is a helicopter ride out of Holman Field along with dinner donated by Minnesota Helicopter. Another one is going to be a Disney basket. Fleet Farm is putting together a wonderful hunting, fishing basket.
Fun.
So stay tuned, there's more to come.
Excellent. All right, this is so exciting. We've got everything at this March 23rd Expo that you could want. We've got vendors, speakers, seminars, door prizes, activities for the kids, food concessions too. How much does it cost to get in?
There is no cost to get in. We would just appreciate a non-perishable food donation that we will then give to the food shelf. And we look forward to having the whole family bring Grandma and Grandpa out too.
Excellent. Thank you. For more information, please visit our website at metronorthchamber.org. We look forward to seeing you on March 23rd for our Home and Outdoor Adventure Expo at the National Sports Center from 9 to 3 p.m. See you there.
Now let's take a look at what our City Council has been working on. Here's City Manager Wally Weisapel with the February Council update.
Hi, and welcome to the City Council update for February. I'm Wally Weisopel, City Manager, and here's what the Council was up to. On the 11th and the 25th, the Council had a conference meeting, and at that conference meeting, they heard about proposals for a community investment plan. A community investment plan is a way for the city to finance capital improvement projects such as streets, water mains, water filtration plants by using its own money that it has on hand. It charges the department that's doing the project an interest rate, and then that interest is be able to use to fund other projects into the future. The City Council looked favorably on that plan, and then later on the 25th, approved it for utilization for this year. The City Council at the conference meeting also heard about a corridor study. The corridor study is in conjunction with MnDOT, Minnesota Department of Transportation, and we're looking at the two highway corridors that service Fridley, Highway 47, University Avenue, and Highway 65. And the purpose of these meetings was to hear about how they impact the city and its residents, how they find valuable, and what they find is be a problem. The first meeting was on the 24th of February. The next meeting is on March 7th, and then we have two more on March 21st, and then again the final one on April 4th. They take place at the City Council chambers, and they start promptly at 6 and end at 8. In the end of all this, we hope to have some final recommendations for MnDOT to take to improve the corridor over time. Things like the fence that's on University Avenue and whether or not it's necessary or not. Other things like the way the corridors look, the safety, lighting, etc. All those things are being taken a look at, and we encourage you to attend. The City Council also took a tour of the Lock Park Water Treatment Facility. And this facility, which is located right on 69th and University, is up for an upgrade. It was first constructed in 1969, and we're looking at improving that so that we don't have to discharge so much water that's used to be discharged back into the Rice Creek, and other improvements for efficiency. The City Council called for a public hearing for the 2019 street reconstruction project. This is going to be 69th Avenue around Old Central, and that public hearing will take place on March 11th. The City Council also approved an ADA transition plan. The ADA, or the Americans with Disabilities Act, is intended to make our infrastructure, such as sidewalks and streets, accessible to all people of all ability levels. So what we did was we performed an analysis of all of our sidewalks and streets and identified areas that need to be improved, and have a plan for improving those so that they're accessible to people with handicaps, and that'll take about 10 years for all that to get done, but it is a goal of the city to make our city accessible to all people. The City Council also accepted the withdrawal of a massage therapy license. This was from Moore Lake Massage after an investigation, and it indicated that perhaps it was not appropriate to issue that license. The petitioner requested to have their license withdrawn, and the City Council accepted that. And that was it for the City Council meetings for February. Thanks for checking in. We look forward to sharing with you the March activities later on. Take care.
That wraps up this month's Community Connection. Be sure to subscribe to email updates and follow the City of Fridley on Facebook and Twitter. I'm Brooke Hall. Thanks for watching.
This has been a production of Fridley Municipal Television, Channel 17. Thanks for watching.